how did you decide to get into comedy?
I think it was just it was really
because you were saying you got interested in policy because you were going to do jokes
I
about
found
this. So
it really
how
early.
long have you been doing comedy?
Well, I think my first set, I was 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In Detroit?
In Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah. At a like a jazz kind of spot that was really cool. My friend's mom owned it, and I had been writing jokes because I had made the decision I'm going to try stand-up for weeks. And then my mom came home one day. She was like, "What are you writing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm working on my jokes." She's because I'm studying. I'm watching like Dave Chappelle, and Comedy Central back then was just on.
Yeah.
You know, always 24 hours. And so I'm writing it, getting it ready. And then I do my first set at the, which was like, I did 20 minutes, which is way too long.
That's amazing though.
It was way too, but 2 minutes were good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 2 were good. And those 2 minutes, I think, is what gave me the confidence. And it was people coming up to me after saying that, like, there's something, you got something, you know, that gave me that's all I needed to hear. It was like, okay, I'll get better at this. And then I did. And then part of my political thing was like, I was like, oh, Chris Rock is, you know, on my top 5 Mount Rushmore comedians. He was very political. So I was like, I should know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I can get past the surface level.
It's funny, like, he doesn't seem political to me now, even though I grew up.
He's not now.
Yeah.
But I think
he
back
was.
then, yeah, he had jokes when black people didn't really talk about Bush or Clinton. It's like, you know, he had them. Dave Chappelle also had.
Yeah.
But Dave was less political and more, you know, I just found like, he's his own style, you know what I mean? Because he's making a point, but not really directly. But Chris Rock was like, you know, fuck this guy. This dumb mother. I don't know if we can curse.
You can curse. Yeah.
This is a family show.
No. Fuck families.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, but Chris, he joked about presidents and politics. And then I think Jon Stewart also was a big influence.
Yeah.
Just early Daily Show. My mom would watch that.
Yep.
And then I'd see her watching that, and that's how I got a lot of my views.
I think a lot of it influenced me way more than I know when I look at what I'm doing now. You know, I always wanted to be, I think my earliest dream was to be a writer. Then it was to be in Saturday Night Live because I was obsessed with it growing up.
Me too.
And that was like the gold standard. That's all I wanted to do was move to New York and be on Saturday Night Live. And I did. And then it never, and I've said this many times, it never occurred to me that I could be a stand-up comedian. I was obsessed with stand-up.
Wow.
And I memorized Delirious when I was like 13 years old.
Oh, wow. So you knew early too. That's the thing. I knew early, but I just was like, okay, I'm going to do this. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Maybe more out of being naive. It wasn't, I think I was just kind of, I'm going to try this. You know, I was like, I felt free to make the attempt, mostly with my parents. I think that I got really lucky.
Oh, that's amazing.
I got really lucky with the people who raised me.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's something too, like there weren't that many. I mean, there was Roseanne. There was, but it seemed like, and I didn't really connect with them. Like I thought when I was in rehab, Chris Rock, which one? Bring the Pain.
Yeah. Oh,
it saved me. I just,
really?
Again, memorized it. I would just like watch it in this room alone. I was in this rehab with 40 women and it was a halfway house. And most of them were avoiding jail, and it was me, like in my Orange is the New Black scenario. And I would just like go in there and work out and listen to that on repeat. It was so brilliant.
It's still brilliant, man.
Yep.
That's when I love it as a Chris Rock fan. That is when he figured it out. If we all have a formula, we're all constantly mixing it and trying to get the right recipe and the right ingredients. Bring the Pain is when it all came together.
Oh, it was just, I had it. So it was like Delirious and I just didn't, I loved Robin Williams. I thought he was a genius.
Yeah.
But
you didn't think you could do it?
I didn't think I could do it. Yeah. It just seemed like something that male geniuses could do.
Male? So you're saying that, oh, I didn't even realize gender played a factor. I thought you meant just in theory, being a comedian is so far
Well,
away. But
being
you're
the
saying
comedian
a
was so
female
far,
comedian.
but it seemed like
There were plenty of women.
Yeah, there were some.
I don't know. I have
You're
to
like,
ask.
right?
Right?
I can't name one, but there must have been some.
There must have been some.